Wow, look at the view from my balcony today. Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I want to show you all what it looks like up here. Up here has a very beautiful view. Welcome to my space. Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Elma. Welcome. So let's get the view of structure from my balcony. This is how it looks like. I come here sometimes to just relax and enjoy the sun. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Wait, did you know that South Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the whole world? They have 0.72% of birth rate compared to in the 1960s, meaning that every Korean woman has less than one child. Like, isn't that a shocker to you? Compared to back then in the 1960s in Korea, like the minimum number of children per family was 6. But now in recent times, one woman has less than one child in 1 year. Like, that's a big shocker to me. So we're going to be talking about all of that in this video and more. We're going to be looking at some of the reasons why this is happening and maybe think about what are the ways that can, or the things that can be done to improve this situation. Enjoy this beautiful space. Okay, we're going to be having a lot of interesting and entertaining videos. Okay, welcome to my space. So I want us to talk about this really important. Like, when I moved to South Korea 6 years ago, one thing that shocked me was the fact that Korea has this thing of aging population. In Cameroon, when you're passing anywhere, or mostly in countries in Africa, when you're passing, you see kids everywhere on the road playing, children everywhere. But when I came to Korea, and I really love babies, when I came to Korea, it was a shock for me because I could only mostly see old people, in the bus, mostly old people, in churches, mostly old people, and I couldn't help but wonder, like, why are there no babies? It's only during events like Children's Day or some specific events that you get to see babies around or kids around, and I really loved babies, and I was always looking forward to like seeing babies that I could carry, but I wasn't even seeing them anywhere. So then I began to like, what could really be the problem? Like, what is really the reason why we don't see babies around like that? What is the reason why most people, even Koreans who are married, you hardly see them planning? Some of them plan not to even have children, or some of them just plan to have one child and then that's the end of it, compared to back then in the 1960s when they were having like one family could have like 6 children. In recent times, everybody just has one child, or if they did too much, then they have 2 children. So in this video, let's be looking at some of the possible reasons that we try to find out, to see like these are the things that are causing people not to have children. Before we go into that, I just remembered something. Like, when I came to Korea, there was this video I saw that many kindergartens or like primary schools, or like mostly kindergartens, were closing down because there were no children to come to school. So many of them had a problem of closing down, and some kindergarten had to go to the extent of going to pick like the old women who didn't have the chance to go to school back in the day, and then they had to bring them to their school to be teaching them, just to ensure that the school doesn't close down. And that's a major problem. And I began to ask myself, like, why is this happening? I remember even when I was pregnant, my professor, he told me something that made me to wonder. He's like, wait, you're pregnant? I said, yes. He said, oh, you must be very rich. Having a baby in this country is very, very expensive. I'm like, it even began to frighten me, like, oh, if my professor can say this. And then he said, like, I'm 45 years old and I'm not married and they plan to have children. And I'm like, if this person can say this, it means I'm going to suffer a lot when I have my baby. But anyway, that's by the way. So let's just look at some of the reasons why people give, or based on research and surveys that we found out, why Koreans do not really want to have children. One of the reasons is, especially that was the top on the list, was high living expenses. Like housing expenses in Korea is a lot. It's really crazy. You have to pay a very huge amount of money for housing, especially in Seoul area, which is the capital city. Like, living in Seoul is super expensive. Everything is crazy expensive. Whenever I go to Seoul and we park our car, just the bills for parking it's too much. Many people feel like if I have to spend this much money on paying for an apartment, it means I'm not going to have enough money to maybe give birth to a child and raise the child. Like my finances are already too spread out that I don't think I have enough to spare, that I want to have a baby. And another reason people give is that having a child requires, because in Korea children study a lot. I'll do another video explaining why children go to school a lot. After normal classes, they have private tutors teaching them music, teaching them English, teaching them they must be learning something on the side. They cannot just learn only what they study in school and then it ends there. No, there's always something else they have to learn. And then many people give the excuse that they don't have money to be hiring private tutors to be teaching children, so rather they focus on themselves and then they work. So having children is not on their agenda, it's not the plan for them. So those were the two top reasons that people gave as to why they don't plan to have kids. Then other reasons that people gave is, they said that women, especially at the workplace, women who face discrimination of any kind of sort, do not even want to have children, because most of the times women who are struggling to achieve a certain career path feel like they'll be drawn back if they go to have children. You get on maternity leave, you go back, sit down, give birth to a child, then you have to nurture the child to a certain age before the child has to go to the daycare center for you to return to work. They feel like it's going to hinder their process of getting to the top in their various careers. So some of them prefer to just push that one aside and just focus on their careers. Like, I don't have this kind of energy, I don't have this kind of time to be raising kids, so I rather just focus on myself, build myself first, and those kind of things. And also some other people used to say, like, in Korea there's a lot of, like, generally people have a lot of stress and pressure. Too much stress, too much pressure, a lot is going on. Like, I tell you, if you work in a factory, if you work in a company, if you work anywhere, you see that they barely have time for themselves, they barely have time to rest. You see a boss in a company from Monday to Sunday working with the wife, and you begin to ask yourself, like, when do these people get time to rest? When do they get time to take care of their families? When do they get time to make a family or two? So sometimes people just feel like, no, let me just focus on myself. And maybe those ones that are married be like, let me focus on myself and my wife, and then we just live our life rather than bringing children, which is going to be more expensive. We don't have time to raise them. Some of them are like, I'm not in a good place psychologically to bring forth a child. Like, many people who go through depression or battle, like ones who have seen their parents go through divorce, or ones who have seen their parents have a bad marriage, they are not willing to get married, talk of even having children. So many of them, they just like, when I spoke to a friend of mine, she was like 45 or so, and she's like, I'm not even planning to get married, I'm not planning to have children because I'm not in a good place psychologically. Talk more of being in a position to raise a child, I can't do that. Many people are having suicide thoughts and all those kind of things, so they feel like they themselves are not in a good place, so why would they be in a position to have children? Yeah, so those are some of the reasons that some people get. So another reason is that many people get married late in Korea, and some of them just want to focus on themselves and travel the world, enjoy their lives without the stress of maybe feeling like they want children. I have a classmate of mine who, she just had one child, and she told her husband, like, that is it, they can only manage one, and that will be it. Not that they have any problems or anything, but they just need just one child, and that's enough for them. They rather focus on themselves, develop themselves, travel the world, enjoy their lives, and do anything they want to do. So many of them are not looking forward to having children. And then the funny thing is that the government has tried so much. This government has spent billions just to give incentives to make women to maybe conceive. They give them a lot of pregnancy allowances, a lot of benefits, and even some daycare center. Daycare is free for Koreans. Like, there's so many benefits, and then they give them monthly allowances depending on the number of children. They give them electricity allowance, discount. They have so many benefits if they have children, but still they choose not to. They feel like, many of them, when you talk to them about, you guys have a lot of incentives, they still say the incentives are not enough to motivate them to cover the expenses. That is still small compared to how much they will pay for an apartment, how much they will pay for this and that. So the incentives still do not move them. Government has tried, but the birth rate, the more they try, it's like it keeps going worse and worse and worse. So now I begin to ask myself, what does this mean for Korea and for the rest of the world? If they continue like this, in some years to come, their population will decrease by half, and this will mean that they are fully going to be dependent on foreign labor. Right now, a lot of Korean companies and a lot of businesses are able to move properly or well because they rely on foreign labor. There are many jobs that Koreans do not like to do, which they prefer to work in certain sectors of the like country. So if these people do not have the children, it means they have to rely more on foreigners coming here to work for them, which is in a way opportunities for foreigners. But for the country itself, I don't know if they have to put more effort, or looking at the top reasons that people give: housing and schooling expenses for children. Maybe if the government tries to invest more in that aspect to reduce the cost of living, especially in places like Seoul, maybe it will motivate people more to have children. I don't know, but let me know, what do you think? Like, what do you think the could be the solution to this problem of decreasing birth rate in Korea? What do you think? And what do you think also could be some of the reasons? If you've spoken to some people, what do you think are some of the reasons why they prefer not to have children or prefer to just be by themselves? What can the government do to solve this problem? Because it means that they'll be fully dependent on foreign labor, which in a way is good for foreigners, but it's not good for their own country. So let me know, what do you think in the comment section. Please, if you've watched my video up to this point, please like this video. Please watch my advertisements on my channel. Please support my channel. I want to be very consistent this time. I want this channel to grow. I want us to reach 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000 subscribers and keep growing and growing. So I'll do my best to be consistent. Okay, so let me know your thoughts, and whatever you want, just drop it in the comment section. Okay, some people come to me personally and give their opinions, but please write it in the comment section. Like the video so that more people can see my video. Okay, let me know, what do you think about all of this? Do you think it's going to be something that can be solved? Do you think it's going to be a difficult situation, or will they continue to rely on foreign labor for them to do things? Right now, many Koreans don't want to do certain jobs just because they have, like, maybe they'll have a variety to choose from, and the other ones will have to be done by foreigners. So anyways, thank you for watching. Let me end it here. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video on this channel. We're going to get a lot of interesting videos. Thank you so much. Until next time, goodbye.